Baby, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. I've had that song stuck in my head for probably the last 2 months now. And the funny thing is, I don't even know who sings that song. At least for a while I didn't. It just kind of came to me. I've been going through a lot of tough times, and I think a lot of setbacks, a lot of letdowns, just a lot of things. But I remember waking up one morning, hearing this song in my head, and it's just stuck with me. So I just feel like my guides are sending me a message that, you know, everything's gonna be okay. You know, try not to worry too much about the future. Deal with the present in that moment. Be in that moment, but don't worry about the future. We got you. We got you. And there's this quiet resolve about that. Sort of a silent knowing. The upcoming new moon is on August 8th, 2021. It occurs in the bold fire sign of Leo, which represents self-expression, creation, and rules over the heart. It's also called the Lion's Gate portal. It's also a time of energetic healing and manifestation of abundance. I think people are always sort of subconsciously planting seeds or leaving little crumb trails of inspiration and positivity. And, you know, I notice these things, I do, and I remember the things that are important to me. And so Tiffany, the gal who swept me off my feet and broke my heart just as quickly, she had sent me this care package. And in this care package was this journal. There were a few different ones, but this one, it just felt like in particular faith was what I really needed the most in my time of need, you know, my time of wanting and feeling sorry and not feeling so great about myself. But one of the things that stuck with me that I really thought was so cool is that she said that if you write in purple ink, that it will help you manifest the things you want in your life better than just regular standard ink. And, you know, immediately when she told me about that, it made me think of royalty, how in, you know, centuries ago, velvet or purple was a sign of royalty. And obviously it was, you know, because it was hard to get. There were a lot of different colors back then, but purple was a very difficult color to produce back in the day. So now, whenever I write something that is a goal or something that I really want to manifest in my life, I write in purple. So thank you for that, Tiffany. Yet another cool thing that you know, brought into my life, and I'm grateful. So right now I am working on a film project that I got hired to do by a lady that I had previously done a headshot photo shoot with. And she, you know, started to tell me more about her business and what she does. She is a transformational coach, a trauma transformational specifically coach. So I'm working on this project, and it just, it's been a really long time since I've worked on a project like this. And it feels so good. It feels so good. And these are the kinds of projects, as much as I enjoy vlogging, and I really do enjoy vlogging, it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, and I get to be kind of my crazy, dorky self. But when it comes to projects like this, I'm coming and I'm working from the heart. And that to me is what makes life so sweet, is because a lot of times we get so caught up in the 9 to 5, the work life, the constant, get up, take a shower, work out, go to work, rinse, repeat process, that we kind of lose ourselves, and our emotions are, there's a cap on it. But on these projects, I can really put my heart and soul into it and create something beautiful, something that, really captures your heart, really gets you feeling something inside that you forgot about. I love being able to pull those things out of you and make you reflect and make you remember, because we're not always through the things we think we are, And trauma is, everybody has trauma. Everybody has trauma in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of us bury it. But anyways, she's paying me a good amount of money to work on this project and make her a short 10 to 15 minute film about her life and what she does. And it's coming together beautifully.
Omi, you have the distinct ability to help people ready to come out of their denial and wake up. For myself, I had a lot of suffering, and I had to learn how to overcome that. If all I gave somebody was the thought that they're not alone with it and that they're not crazy, that's huge.
Oh, God. This is so good. It's so good. I cannot wait to put this thing together. So today I'm in like the final phase of putting the whole thing together and really like fine-tuning the story. I think the cool thing about storytelling and documentary film is that you're never really sure how it's going to go. But when it comes together, it just, you're just like, yes, I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how. But it's finally coming together. I've got that magical introduction that just, God, it gets you in the heart, gets you in the feels, the places where it matters. And oh my God, I get excited about that. It's my thing, man. It's my thing. Anyways, I gotta get some breakfast. I am starving. Got my breakfast. Got my vegan cookie. Yeah, ready. So I guess I should probably update you on exactly what happened last week. Turns out I'm kind of a bonehead. I made a bonehead mistake. It wasn't my transmission. It turns out it was my oil. Now, I know that doesn't really make any sense, and I'm still trying to figure the whole thing out. But basically, what I think happened is about 2 months ago, I had gotten a new K&N filter along with an oil change. And I had switched over from standard oil to synthetic oil. Because obviously better for your engine, or at least it's supposed to. But with older vehicles, what can happen is you can have these oil deposits that build up that can actually seal things and keep things running properly. And when the synthetic oil runs through it, it can actually create, it can open up those seals, and you can start to have oil leaks, and you can start to actually burn more oil faster than usual. And I think that is probably what happened. However, the other thing is that I was going to a new place, and what I did was I marked each, different sides of the filter to know that they had actually used the filter. But when they did the oil change, I checked it, and none of the marks were there. They were all gone. And so I called them out on it, and they swore that they had not had not screwed me over. But I couldn't prove it. They said that, some of the brake fluid or whatever fluids could have gotten on it and wiped it right off when they were putting it on. Okay. I'm not sure why brake fluid is on there, but okay. So what I think happened is when you have a old oil filter, and it was old. It was really old. I had waited a very long time to get an oil change. Just because I financially couldn't afford it. It's expensive on these big vehicles to change out. So, I didn't take a picture prior to them doing the install. So I really didn't have any proof to prove to them. So what I'm thinking happened is that they did screw me over. They did not change out the filter like I thought they should have, like I thought they didn't. And over the 2 months of, new oil and an old oil filter, it got clogged up. So my oil pressure has been way off, and I've had a few different signs of those things going on. And the best thing I can say is that it just burned through my oil faster than I'm used to. And because when I did finally check the oil after I had pulled over, it was very, very low. It wasn't empty, but it was really low. It was below the mark, and I've never let it get that low before. So, I waited the whole weekend, and I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had called transmission shops, and I was shopping around trying to find the best one. And I finally, decided on Desert Transmission. They were in India, which is like 25 miles away. My tow only covered 20. The tow truck guy was on the way, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a shot. So, I had filled it back up with oil, and I let it sit for those 2 days. And then I started it right up, and I drove right down the street like it was no big deal. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that it was just the oil and it wasn't my transmission. So that just goes to show you that don't assume that you know what's wrong with it. And, be willing to try to make mistakes. And, it's scary when it comes to my vehicle because this is my home. This is everything. My everything is invested in this home. If I had broken it, I could have totally screwed myself. But I also saved myself several hundreds of dollars paying someone to look at it and tell me that there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know that it did any damage because the van seems to be running just fine. It runs fine, like nothing happened. So I feel like I have a personal responsibility now to learn as much as I can about the engine. I need to start doing my own oil changes. I need to start doing as much of the engine work as I possibly can to, one, save money, but also know the ins and outs of how these things work, because I'm not really mechanically inclined. I'm really good at a lot of things, but that's not something I'm quite good at, and I really need to be. So that's what's going on. Hey. Okay. The next few days are really special days for me. Not only is my birthday coming up, actually it's tomorrow, but this is the Lionsgate portal. This is a time of creation and manifestation and connecting with the universe or God in every way possible. It's probably one of the most important times of the year for me, because these days signify or are the precursor to everything that I want for this next year. So balancing these stones is really important to me, probably more so than ever before, because as I've always said, when you're balancing stones, it's a lot like balancing your life, but the most important thing is not the stone itself, but the foundation. And the foundation is me. I'm the foundation. I'm not the stone. If my foundation is strong, then I can always support myself no matter what situation comes my way. And that's so important for me with my future. And I'm not going to let the things that happen in life bring me down anymore. It's time to go. I don't need to stay in the desert anymore. It's time for me to move on. I'm ready to go. And although I don't have as much money as I wanted, really not even close, I have to go. There's definitely a sense of urgency, especially with the way things are going in California. So it's time to take that leap of faith and just go for it. It's time. So check this out. Okay, obviously my shadow's in the way. Look at this stone. This stone looks different than any of the other stones I've seen anywhere out here. It's got these little charcoal black spots everywhere, right? And I'm like, wow, this is so unique. And then I tap it. You hear that? It's hollow on the inside. I would be willing to bet that there's some sort of crystals in here. Maybe quartz. I really don't know. I kind of want to bust it open, but I'm not going to, because I know that this is Indian land, obviously with the sign, but it is Indian land, and I don't want to mess with that stuff. So that's going to have to be, you know, it's going to have to be discovered by somebody who is worthy of, I guess of finding it. I don't want to disturb it. That's it for me today. I am definitely coming back here tomorrow. I might even try to come out here every single day. There's just an endless amount of stones to work with. So I'm glad I came out here. Been driving past it for days and didn't really even notice it till, honestly, until I had forgotten that I hadn't balanced any stones in a long time. I'm headed back. I finished that video that I was talking about, and the crazy thing is that while I was editing it and I was breaking things down and I was cutting things up and I was, you know, I was going through the process of you know, the editing phase and getting it tighter, making it right, it actually ended right on 11 minutes, 11 seconds. And nothing could be more concrete for me that I was meant to work on that project, and everything just came in alignment. It was so totally perfect. It's probably one of the best films I've ever produced. It wasn't 100% my work in the sense that I didn't shoot all the B-roll. I had to go find it. I had to find some footage that I could use. I'd pay for it. But the end result is spectacular. I could not be happier, and I really liked the freedom of working with someone else's footage, because there's so much out there now. There's so many options to create or tell your story for documentary film. You know, or if you're trying to tell a drama about someone else's story. Freaking amazing.
The things I do just for the shot, I gotta tell you, it's a bit over the top, honestly. And, you know, you'd never be the wiser of what I'm doing. One of these days. Maybe this. There we go. There we go. Okay. I got this. Let me right in on the face. I'm gonna have to dip down a little bit, but you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know.
Okay. More. Serious. Serious. This is serious. Serious. Okay. Okay. Ready? Oh. Hollywood's not ready for this guy, for real. Oh man, that was good.